Serial killers. The very term sends shivers down our spines, conjuring images of shadowy figures and unspeakable acts. They are the boogeymen of our nightmares, the monsters lurking in the shadows. What drives these individuals to commit such horrific acts? What sets them apart from the rest of us? The study of serial killers is a journey into the darkest recesses of the human psyche. It forces us to confront the reality that monsters do exist, and they walk among us. Welcome to our channel, where we explore the psychological aspects of various personality types and the world around them. Ready to unlock your mind? Like and subscribe to stay notified. Childhood, a time of innocence, can be a breeding ground for darkness in the lives of serial killers. Certain early experiences and behavioral patterns often foreshadow a sinister path. The Macdonald Triad, bedwetting, fire-starting, and animal cruelty, has been linked to future violence. These behaviors point to a fascination with control and pain. The family environment also plays a crucial role. Serial killers often come from homes rife with abuse and neglect. Witnessing violence can desensitize children to brutality. The absence of a stable parental figure deprives them of emotional support. Adolescence, a period of intense physical, emotional, and social change, can further exacerbate the underlying psychological turmoil brewing within future serial killers. As hormones surge and peer pressure mounts, these individuals often struggle to navigate the complexities of social interaction and self-discovery. Withdrawal, isolation, and an inability to form meaningful connections become increasingly apparent. They may exhibit a lack of empathy, finding it difficult or impossible to understand or relate to the emotions of others. This emotional detachment allows them to objectify and dehumanize potential victims, making it easier to rationalize their violent impulses. Academically, these individuals may struggle, exhibiting a decline in performance or a complete disinterest in school. They may engage in disruptive or even violent behavior, lashing out at classmates or teachers. These outbursts often signal a deep-seated anger and frustration, a simmering rage that threatens to boil over. Early adulthood marks a critical turning point in the development of a serial killer. The fantasies and urges that may have simmered beneath the surface during childhood and adolescence begin to solidify into concrete plans and compulsions. The line between thought and action blurs, and the desire to act on their dark impulses becomes overwhelming. Often a triggering event, such as a job loss, a relationship breakdown, or a perceived personal failure, will push them over the edge, propelling them into their first kill. This initial act of violence serves as a horrifying initiation, a crossing of the Rubicon from which there is no turning back. With each subsequent kill, the act becomes easier, the internal resistance weaker. They may experience a sense of power and control that they crave, a perverse satisfaction derived from the suffering of another human being. The thrill of the hunt, the meticulous planning, and the ultimate act of domination fuel their compulsion, feeding the monster within. Section 5. The deadly triad: bedwetting, fire-starting, and animal cruelty. The Macdonald Triad is a chillingly consistent pattern observed in the backgrounds of many serial killers. While not a foolproof predictor of future violence, this trio of behaviors, particularly when occurring together, raises significant red flags about a child's psychological development and potential for future aggression. Bedwetting, often beyond the age when it is considered developmentally appropriate, can be a sign of underlying anxiety, stress, or emotional disturbance. It represents a loss of control, a vulnerability that can be deeply unsettling for a child. Fire-starting, beyond simple curiosity, reveals a fascination with destruction and the power to inflict pain. The dancing flames, the crackling wood, and the utter devastation left in their wake hold a strange allure for these troubled minds. Animal cruelty, perhaps the most disturbing element of the triad, demonstrates a complete lack of empathy and a chilling indifference to suffering. Torturing and killing animals provide a sense of power and control, a way to exert their will over a being that cannot fight back. Section 6, the twisted mind, psychological profiles and common traits. Certain psychological traits and patterns emerge with alarming regularity. These shared characteristics provide a glimpse into the twisted minds of these individuals. One common trait is a lack of empathy. Serial killers often struggle to understand or relate to the emotions of others. They see people as objects, pawns to be manipulated and discarded at will. This emotional detachment allows them to commit horrific acts without experiencing remorse or guilt. Section 7, Nature versus Nurture, Unraveling the Roots of Evil. The question of what creates a serial killer is a complex one with no easy answers. It is a multifaceted issue, a tangled web of genetic predispositions, environmental influences, and personal choices. While some experts believe that certain individuals are born with a predisposition for violence, others argue that it is the environment in which they are raised that ultimately shapes their destiny. The nature argument points to potential biological factors, such as genetic abnormalities or brain chemistry imbalances, that may contribute to a propensity for aggression and violence. For example, studies have shown that individuals with damage to the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control and decision-making, may be more likely to engage in impulsive and violent behavior. The nurture side of the debate emphasizes the crucial role of early childhood experiences, such as abuse, neglect, and trauma, in shaping an individual's psychological development. Exposure to violence, either as a victim or a witness, can desensitize children to brutality, normalizing it within their understanding of the world. Section 8. The role of mental illness, psychopathy, sociopathy, and beyond. Mental illness plays a complex and often misunderstood role in the lives of serial killers. While not all individuals with mental health disorders are violent, and not all serial killers meet the criteria for a specific diagnosis, certain mental illnesses such as psychopathy and sociopathy are overrepresented in this population. Psychopathy, as previously mentioned, is characterized by a lack of empathy, remorse and guilt, as well as superficial charm, manipulativeness, and a disregard for social norms. Psychopaths are often described as being emotionally cold, lacking the capacity for genuine emotional connection. They may be able to mimic emotions using charm and manipulation to get what they want, but their feelings are shallow and fleeting. Sociopathy, while similar to psychopathy, is often considered to be more a product of environmental factors, such as childhood abuse or trauma. Sociopaths may be able to form some attachments to others, but their ability to empathize is limited, and they're often prone to impulsive and reckless behavior. Section 9, Beyond the Surface, the complexity of serial killers. It is crucial to remember that serial killers are not two-dimensional villains in a horror movie. They are complex individuals with their own unique histories, motivations, and psychological makeup. Reducing them to simplistic labels or stereotypes ignores the multifaceted nature of their crimes and hinders our ability to understand and prevent future tragedies. The study of serial killers is not about glorifying their actions or satisfying morbid curiosity. It is about delving into the darkest recesses of the human psyche, seeking to understand the root causes of violence and the factors that contribute to the creation of these human predators. By unraveling the complex interplay of nature and nurture, psychology and circumstance, we can gain valuable insights into the minds of serial killers. This knowledge is not only essential for law enforcement and criminal justice professionals, but also for anyone who seeks to understand the human capacity for both good and evil. Section 10. Conclusion: Unmasking the Mind, one case at a time. The journey into the mind of a serial killer is not for the faint of heart. It is a descent into darkness, a confrontation with the most disturbing aspects of human nature. But it is a journey we must take if we are to understand and combat this chilling phenomenon. By studying the common traits, the psychological profiles, and the environmental influences that contribute to the creation of these human predators, we can better equip ourselves to identify, apprehend, and potentially prevent future tragedies. The work of law enforcement professionals, forensic psychologists and researchers is invaluable in this ongoing battle against darkness. Through their tireless efforts, we are slowly peeling back the layers of mystery surrounding serial killers, unmasking the minds that have terrorized our world for far too long. The fight against evil is a never-ending one, but with each case solved, each mind unmasked, we take a step closer to understanding the darkness and safeguarding our future.